Hadith 28. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, written on Arsh. An Umara qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam lama adnaba adamu dhanba ladhi adnabahu rafa'a ra'asahu ila sama'i faqala as'aluka bihaqqi Muhammadin ila ghafirta li fa'awha lahu alayhi man Muhammadin faqala tabaraka smuka lama khalaqtani rafa'atu rasi ila arshika fa'idha fiha maktubun la ilaha illallahu Muhammadun Rasulullahi fa'alimtu annahu laysa ahadun a'ramu indaka qadran aman ja'alta asmahu famasmika fa'awhalahu alayhi ya adamu innahu akhiru nabiyina min dhurriyatika walaula huwa ma khalaqtuk. Umar, God be pleased with him, reports that the messenger of God, divine contact upon him in wholeness, said, after Adam, upon him peace, happened to commit the sin, as a result of which he was transferred from the garden of paradise to this earth. From the garden to this earth. He used to spend from the garden to this land. Isn't that what it says? He used to spend all his time in weeping, praying, and repenting. Once he looked up toward the sky and prayed, "O God, I beg of thy forgiveness in the name of Muhammad." Who is Muhammad? Came the inquiry through divine revelation. He replied, "When you had created me, I saw the words, 'There is no God except God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God,' written on your throne. And since then, I believe that no human being is superior to Muhammad, divine contact upon him and wholeness. It was revealed he is to be the last of the the last of the exemplar prophets, and will be your descendant. If he were not to be created, he would not have been created." Tabrani narrates this. Bayhaqi does. How at that time Adam alayhi salam prayed, wept, and begged. Pardon has been described in many a hadith. Only those who have experienced the pain of the displeasure of a master can have some idea about the condition of Adam alayhi salam. On account of the displeasure of earthly masters, a servant gets very much worried, but in the case of Adam, it was the displeasure of the Lord of Lords, the sustainer of the whole universe, and in the short, the anger of Allah, the great, over one before whom the Malaika were made to bow, and who enjoyed the position of a favorite. the last prophet. Perhaps others were written on it, but the last prophet would have been the last one you see, right? So that's how some people remember is the last thing on the list. The higher the position of a favorite, the more he feels the anger of the master, provided he is not mean. And in this case, a Nabi was involved. Ibn Abbas, radiyallahu anhu, narrated that Adam alayhi salam wept so much that his weeping exceeded the total weeping by all the people of this world, and that he remembered in sajda, the prostration, for 40 years without lifting up his head even once. Buraidah radiyallahu anhu also narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam had said, the tears of Adam alayhi salam, if compared, will exceed the tears by all the people of the world. It is stated in another hadith that his tears outweighed the tears shed by all his descendants. Under these circumstances, in how many ways he must have wept and repented can be imagined. In addition, he even begged to be pardoned for the sake of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that the kalima La ilaha illallah is written on the arsh, the divine throne. Not that God is supported by sitting on some throne. It's supported by many other ahadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said, when I entered Jannah, I saw 3 lines written in gold on both sides. In the first line it was written, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadah Rasulullah. In the second was written, Ma Qadamna Wajadna wa Ma Akalna Rabehna wa Ma Khalafna Qasirna. What we have sent in advance, what we found, what we consumed, what we enjoyed, and what we left behind, we lost. What we sent in advance, we found, and what we consumed, enjoyed, and what we left behind, we lost. And in the third line was written, Amatun Mud Nabatun Wa Rabbu Afur. The people are sinful, but the sustainer is forgiving. A saint relates, I happened to visit a town in India, and there I came across a tree, the fruit of which resembles the almond and has a double shell. When it is broken, a rolled green leaf comes out with La ilaha illallah inscribed on it in red. When I spoke about it to Abu Yaqub, the hunter, he was not surprised at all, and told me that in Ella he had caught a fish, in which had La ilaha illallah written on one ear and Muhammadur Rasulullah on the other. And if you look close, you'll see the spiritual teachings throughout nature in ways that you might not think possible.